top quality and award-winning craft products. We are home to the very first, the original transparent art stamp. We hand make them here in Kent, and our talented illustrators are always coming up with new original concepts and wonderful artwork. In addition, we design and manufacture top quality stencils and masks. In fact, we also make precision cut reusable masks for our stamps. Since January 2017, we are also the new owners of Pergamano International, bringing together a wonderful blend of old and new parchment art. We are so fortunate to be able to showcase our newest and best products here on Hochanda and to be able to demonstrate our art ideas to you, our Hochanda friends. So if you would like to learn more about clarity stamping, stencil work, parchment art, both groovy and traditional, please join us, myself and the Clarity team, here on Hochanda for ideas and inspiration.
Hi, I'm Katrina from Rowan Dean. We're a small family business that design embroidery kits. Embroidery has always been my passion, and I'd love to show you how to do some of the stitches and some of the kits. We're based in Derbyshire, and I'm really inspired by the landscape and flora of Derbyshire, and I think other people will be too. Our kits are really easy, and I hope they inspire you to have a go at stitching. Since we've been on Hochanda, we've had a great time. Everybody's been really friendly and really good. We've met loads of people all around the country who watch Hochanda and find it really inspiring. Don't forget to join me on my Rowan Dean shows on Hochanda.
Exciting news! For the 5th year in a row, Hochanda has been awarded the top accolade of Platinum Trusted Service Award from Feefo. These awards recognise businesses that deliver exceptional experiences as rated by you, our customers, and we're honoured to have been selected. The Trusted Service Award means you can shop with confidence, based on the reviews from over 60,000 Hochanda customer experiences. Thank you for your independent reviews. It means a lot to us.
Kay Fassett is a distinguished artist, designer and author who has used his background in knitwear design to create an expanding range of bold and beautiful fabric prints for the patchwork market. Join me on Hochanda, where I will be bringing you a wide selection of beautiful fabrics at fantastic prices.
Hi, I'm John Lockwood from John Next Door and Crafts 2. I've been with Hochanda since the very beginning, and I've been crafting a lot longer than that. My crafting journey's taken me through all different types of crafting, from stamping and die cutting to colouring and inking, and loads of different things. I've been working with Crafts 2 now for over 3 years, and they produce the John Next Door brand, distribute it, and make sure that everything is perfect in that. This allows me to work with the fantastic Crafts 2 tools and products, as well as some of their other amazing brands such as 2J Stamps, Presscut, and the Craft Artist range of glues and consumables and inks. I really find that this partnership is extremely strong and helps me bring out the best of my products and all the other products within the Crafts 2 stable and the ones that I design. So don't miss the John Next Door and Crafts 2 shows on Hochanda.
Events popping up at the end there. So of course a familiar show. We've got Craft Yourself Silly. It's their one day special. Launched at 6 o'clock this evening. incredibly busy, not just for the one-day special, but some additional things that we're going to be sharing with you. But got to get the housekeeping done first. I'll tell you about the one-day special, the saving. Then I'll tell you about another Fabazine that we've got for you. And then I will tell you about the complete bundle at the bottom of your screen. So if you want to jump ahead and have a little look, you can do. Now, of course, we're going to have a busy hour with all sorts of different demonstrations going on. But let's kick things off and tell you about the details on your screen for your one-day special. Now, this is something Hayley's going to tell us about in just a few moments, but you'll know Fabazine. We've been working with Fabazine since about March, I think it was, something like that. Last year, actually, because we're 2021 now, aren't we? And this is a brilliant magazine where you've got 12 projects in total in here, but you've also got the tools to help you complete those projects. Don't worry, we will go through it all in fine detail in a little while. But you have got a £10 saving with your one-day special, so the deal on the screen is showing that. 2 flexi buys at £20 each if you want to go down that route, but perhaps hold fire for just a few moments and bring that £10 saving with you while I tell you about some other things that we've got on the show. So we've got the Fabazine there, issue number 5. We've got kind of a bit of a bonus Fabazine coming up with your denim theme, which we'll tell you about in a few moments. And this is where you're recycling fabric. You're introducing your own denim to this one to create some fabulous projects. You've got 8 projects in here. And again, the tools and the mediums to help you actually work with these. But I did promise you that you'd be able to take that £10 saving. You've got a £5 saving with your denim at Fabazine, but tell you what, bring those savings with you with the details changing on your screen there, bringing them forward and getting an additional saving. Now you've got an additional £10 saving on your screen. Overall, you're actually saving £25 because, as I say, the £10 saving from your one-day special, £5 saving from your denim Fabazine, it all comes together with the additional £10 to give you the deal on your screen. And you've got 2 flexi buys to spread the cost. 20 projects overall. This is the amazing deal that we've got here. And of course, got fabulous Hayley Smith joining me again this hour. Hello, my darling. You've been busy with all of these.
Oh, so busy. So busy. So busy that the videos aren't on YouTube till Wednesday.
Oh, but they're going to be there. That's the main thing.
They will be there. Yes, all the help is there. So a Fabazine, for anybody who hasn't seen this before, is a fabric magazine. So you've got your magazine, which gives you all of your instructions and your tuition. That's backed up with videos on YouTube as well. But what you get is a big fabric panel. And the one you can see behind me there, that's the one from the Denim edition. So you get a fabric panel with it. The denim one's slightly different. The traditional Fabazine one, which you'll be able to see in just a second, that one has all of your projects printed on there. And I'm going to point out as many as I can remember as we go. So this one at the top here.
Yeah.
This is your garden applique panel. So there's your panel, and then you can just see peeping in the top there some of your applique elements that you can add onto it.
Okay.
Right at the top there. That's your butterfly brooches. Now you should have one set of 2, which is back to back, but I had some space, so you've now got double. Okay. These 2 pieces here make your sewing pouch. And then this one's been a really popular one individually, is your hot chocolate heat pad. Ooh. So this panel and this panel will create your hot chocolate heat pad. Down the side here, this is your pencil case.
He looks like a wildlife frog.
Hungry frog pencil case. He's down there, have a go. He's quite fun. You've got your embroidery doodle, you've got the paisley pup, and then here we've got the spotty dress fabrics for that mini bunting that is in the panel. Down the bottom, we've got the smocking panel.
That's kind of like a grid work.
It is a grid work one, and we'll play about with this one tomorrow morning, actually. Okay. And then coming across a little bit, you've got your alpaca, you've got extra little bits of fabric on the bottom to help you decorate that. And then coming along there and all the way up the side, that is your big bag project as well. So that's not quite all of them, though.
It's not,
because there are a couple more there as well.
Projects in total. Now, of course, you've got your beautiful fabric panel that Hayley's just talked us around, but then you've got additional pieces. Things like your MDF rings that you've got here, things like your little clothes pegs, you've got your additional elements to work with your alpaca, embroidery skeins, you've got templates, you've got all sorts in here that will allow you to continue to work with these. Some of the projects introducing your own fabrics, which I think is half the fun, but you're getting things like those acrylic templates there to create your Celtic knot quilt time and time again, and it really is a fabulous result. Let me just bring up the panel there just to show you, because that is bringing in your own fabrics. Have a look at that. In fact, shall I show you them all?
Well,
brilliant?
I've got a couple more, which is using exactly the same template. So that one where it's got those linked knots, like kind of loops linking into each other. But then there's another version there, which is exactly the same template, but Attractor's just changed a couple of bits within there and got so many different looks from it. So it's a really, really nice one, this one, because you can see she's made a kind of link in the square in the centre and then the bits going around the outside, or you can link them in as the two.
Very effective.
There's all sorts you can do this one. It's a really interesting one to play with.
I love it. So you kind of got it as a table runner, as you can see there. So the table runner version there. Another version here, which is more of a square quilt, taking those blocks and putting them in a formation of 2 by 2, making them into a square quilt, as you can see here. As we work our way across, you'll see that we've got some of those beautiful printed fabrics from the panel, incorporated in with some wadding. So maybe add some of those extra bits and pieces like your wadding into your basket, because you will need them for some of these projects. The handles, as you can see there as well, they are perfect. Yeah. They're included. You saw those.
Left them in their kind of MDF state there, but obviously you could go ahead and paint those or decorate them, wrap them with ribbon or something like that before you actually put them in. It's entirely up to you.
Your panel will give you fabric for the outside as well as the lining as well, which is brilliant. Working our way up, we've got 2 projects in one here. You've got your fabulous applique panel, which Hayley has put into the frame, which you can get hold of the frame if you're wanting to. Might be that you want to use it as a wall hanging or a notice board. It's entirely up to you, but if you do want those frames, they are at the bottom of the screen. You'll notice the little washing line there, those fabulous little dresses. They're kind of like little origami dresses.
So yeah, we've done like mini bunting for this, because the dresses were quite nice and small. We thought they could easily kind of decorate around the bottom of a plant pot or around a jar or something like that. But what I've done is actually combined the 2 projects together there. So if you want to, you can, because you do get the waxed cord, which you could use as a washing line if you like.
I like it.
And I've put them all right next to each other, but you could space them out a little bit more, but you do get 6 of the pegs included in there.
Wonderful. So there we go. Still going, still going, still going. You got your little dog. Your fabulous little dog. This one is adorable.
You got your little paisley pup. He's got a little kind of a heart print pattern on there, which is really,
and this
really
one's
cute.
on the panel, the fabric panel again,
yes,
isn't
it is. That's on your fabric panel. Attractors, the eyes come with it. Attractors added a little ribbon there just to finish him off.
His little collar, as you can see there. Then working our way across, you've got your heat pad. This is one of the items that sold out as a panel by itself. All of these projects, if you envisage yourself wanting to make more of them, then you can double up on these. Or you could even go for a couple of the one-day specials if you wanted to. But this one, obviously, you're going to add in your own. Is it rice that's inside?
Yes,
okay.
I've put rice in these, and that is mainly because either rice or wheat you can put in these, and then they're safe to microwave. Don't put any grain in there, so you don't want to be putting things like, especially corn.
Oh gosh, popcorn. Can you imagine? Exactly. They'll be twice the size by the time you finish.
So yeah, rice or wheat.
Love it. Fabulous. And you can see that the printed fabric there. Working our way across this hairy little chap here. This is your alpaca.
This is the alpaca. Now, that's one that Sarah's done, and she's used a slightly different technique. We showed a slightly different version in the earlier hour. Let me just flip it out, and then you quickly can see that one as well. There you go.
Oh, there is his little hairy face.
So it's just a case of building all those layers up, and this one's obviously Sarah's is a lot more 3D because she's added a lot of yarn and a lot of volume into there. This one's a little bit flatter, but this kind of snippet technique, the more it gets worn and washed and lived with, the better the texture becomes on this.
He's kind of cute on the panel just as he is.
Well, yeah, exactly. You can have him just as if you don't want to use him with this technique, and this is what Fabazine's all about. It's all about learning new techniques, trying new things out. If you like them, fantastic, go on and use it in something else. Yes. If you don't, either complete the project or pass it on to somebody else to have a go.
Definitely makes sense. Now, the little butterflies, Hayley was explaining the butterfly brooches we've got to the side here. Now, these, originally you were only going to get 2, but they figured out there's more fabric on there, so you've actually got more of the bases.
I think you've got one brooch back because it was designed originally to be a brooch. And it was designed to go back to back, so you could have them back to back. But if you lift that top one up a little bit, you can see actually there's kind of layers. The top
I see.
one.
Right, sorry, yes.
Yes,
yeah.
There's kind of layers on it, so you can layer them up if you want to as well.
It looks as if it's got a little magnet on there, so it could actually be a little fridge magnet as well if you wanted to. Or maybe a closure on your memory books, because I know a lot of you use your magnets there. Working your way up, you've got a little panel here. Now, this is brilliant.
So this one's a little embroidery doodle. We've given you some suggested stitches to have a go at, but Patty's done this one and she's mixed the two mediums up. So she's used her colouring pens, and we do have a literally handful of the zebra ones on the show, the ones with the neons and the glitters. So you can mix the two mediums up. So she's done a bit of both there. If you turn it over, you'll see the bits that she's stitched.
She'll thank you for that.
Well, no, I don't mind showing the workings. I think there's nothing wrong.
I think it's fabulous as well, because you've got the little circle point there. So if you've got seed beads, sequins, all of those, you could actually place those in there if you wanted to as well. Working on, we haven't finished yet. There's still more projects, and we haven't even started looking at the denim one. This one, again, you've got your pocket. Obviously, you're inside and you're outside. Let me just undo that one for you so you can have a little look at this one. So this one, again, the fabric is featuring on your panel. You've got your innie and your outie, because you've got two different fabrics featuring your blue and obviously your sewing paraphernalia, and then your pink.
This one you can actually decide which way round you want to put it. You could have it with the pink side facing, you could have it with the blue pockets facing. It's entirely up to you, because you've got that flexibility to put it whichever way out you want. And you've also got a button included there which you can add on. I think they're mostly a kind of creamy orangey colour, the ones we've put in, because it kind of went with the threads and some of the bits and pieces on there. And what I'll do is, in a minute, I will show you kind of how this one goes together, and how, if you don't want to add the bit of ribbon that's included to make the closure, how you can actually add a popper buttonhole into there instead.
Wonderful. There you go. Now, has that got a little bit of wadding in there?
Right, mine has.
Okay.
However, I think that sometimes it can be a bit unwieldy on some machines if you haven't got a machine that will go through that, because when you think about it, you've got kind of 4 layers building up on these sides. So you've got 1 layer folded over there into 2, 1 layer folded over there into 2. So if you can't get 4 layers through your machine, then I would actually leave it like the sample that I've got here.
Because you've got your double fabric in there, there's more than
which hasn't got.
You will need your wadding though for obviously your quilting projects that we were. Oh no, I've knocked the dog over. Oh dear.
It's a good job I've got a spare one over here.
We're getting back. We're getting back, don't worry.
Here it is.
So don't forget, you're going to need your wadding for projects like the fabulous Celtic knot that we were chatting about earlier on. And then the last project that I haven't told you about, which I must tell you about, this little chap here. Now, this is just the one-day special we're talking about, all these 12 projects. And this one, you are going to get your zip, which obviously features his wide mouth, as you can see there. Makes him into an absolutely adorable pencil case. I think it's a brilliant idea. So those complete all of your one-day special projects from issue 5 of your Fabazine then. Now, the Celtic knot template, just to let you know, 50% of the stock of those have gone by themselves. Now, what that relates to is, if you come back over to the one-day special, I can show you. You've got the acrylic little templates here. So that's what it's relating to. So you can get hold of these by themselves if you wanted to, because they are included within your one-day special and that larger bundle. If you're going for them by themselves, £14.99, which is brilliant value. But bear in mind,
for an extra £20.
Yeah, for an extra £20, you can get the whole of the one-day special. And even more so, that extra kind of £20, well, less than £20, will be your first payment on both the one-day special and the Denim Fabazine.
I think if you go for the bag and the Celtic knot template, that's a penny less than the one-day special. So you're essentially getting the other 10 projects for a penny.
Perfect, absolutely fair. Now, before I go on and tell you about the Denim Fabazine, I must tell you, we have got a happy hour again for this hour, just so to make sure I get that in nice and early, because I know Scott waited till 15:15. It's 14 minutes past, so I've got there before him.
So you've beaten him by a minute.
For the record. But yeah, every single one-day special show, just to give you a little heads up, have a little look before we get to them. There's such a lot to cover before we even get to this opportunity.
I know, I'm really sorry.
But you will find this, every single show, you will have different happy hours, so do check them out.
What you have, and we've put this bundle specially together for the two Fabazines that we've got.
Okay, I'm going to do it this way.
So you're getting 2 packs of 80 needles and 2 packs of 90 needles. So the 80s, they would be perfect for your normal Fabazine, going through your cottons, going through your battings, that kind of thing. The 90s, those needles are a little bit thicker, a little bit stronger, so they're perfect for your denim work. So that's why we've put the 2 lots together in a bundle for this happy hour.
And you can kind of see them side by side. There's not a huge amount in it, but it does make a difference when you're working with your machine. So if you are working with your denims, use those 90s. And then again, you've got your 80s there for your general sewing. Universal, so again, work with any sewing machine. So do make sure you treat yourself to those, because less than a tenner for all of those. That is brilliant value for money. So one day special, happy hour, tick, tick. Denim Fabazine, I suppose that's the next thing to chat about.
50p a needle there.
That is,
not
yeah.
bad.
Really good value, isn't it, that, Heather? Now, the Denim Fabazine, this one has been a popular one, not only just by itself, but also as part of that bigger bundle. And this is one where your saving of £5 is coming forward to the complete bundle with the additional £10 saving that you can see on your screen. This one's all about recycling, Hayley.
Yes, it is. It's all about kind of upcycling the fabrics that you have. So, say you've got maybe a couple of pairs of jeans, maybe you've got an old denim jacket, any denim skirts, anything that's made in denim, or you've got leftover scrap denim fabric. You can use all of that within this. And what you're getting again is you're getting the panel behind me, which we've printed on calico this time, because sometimes when the calico comes to us, it's got little folds and little kind of movements in it. And when we print that, it gives it a more kind of rustic feel. And sometimes we get little creases going through, and then when you open them out, oh, it's missed a bit of print and things like that. And we really like that for a more upcycled, rustic look for this. So we've gone with the calico on it, and what you're getting on there is that big panel across the top. That's for the frayed heart cushion, which we showed in the first hour. You've got your beach panel on there as well, which is this piece here. And then you've got your lining for your bag, which is that kind of T-shaped, bone-shaped piece coming across the middle. And then there's a couple of other little bits down the bottom there, which are backings and linings for your notebook cover and your cuff as well, your pin cushion cuff as well. So everything is on there that you are going to need. But this one is more about, you're getting a lot of templates in here. You're getting a lot of things that you're going to be able to reuse again and again. And the projects that you've got over there, you've got your bag, which is the one in front of you.
Big bag.
Now this one is it's a kind of a bucket bag. So it's got a nice kind of square bottom, really solid, and then the handles poke through either side. So if you just want to stand it out and have it, you know, standing on a surface, then those handles will disappear into the kind of lining of the bag when you pull it out straight. And then when you pull the handles up, it all cinches in and closes in for you. So.
Brilliant idea. Now, I will mention the panel that we've just looked at behind Hayley. I was watching earlier on from the Presenters Lounge on a regular TV, and it did look a little bit paler on the screen than it actually is when you receive it.
It's a proper calico, isn't it? It's a proper kind of seeded cotton.
Because I looked and I thought, oh, that's quite pastely, but when you come in it, it's a lot more vibrant than you can perhaps see on the screen there. So just bear that in mind if you are looking and you're thinking, oh, it looks a little bit pale, a bit wishy-washy. It's not when you receive it. Now, obviously you were talking about the projects, but as you said there, you were talking about a lot of additional elements in here. So that is one of those 8 projects that you've got within here, added in your own fabric, obviously using the pattern and the guidelines. But let's have a look at some of the extras you're getting, because you are getting extras like an A5 book, because of course you're going to do that fabulous book cover.
That journal
gone over here, the journal. It's a
so
idea.
Lovely, because you're getting that with it, and it's designed specifically to go with the fabric that's in there. But you also get the kind of paper instructions, or to show, you know, if you wanted to repeat the project, how you would measure it out and things like that. However, I know, I used the seam off my jeans. That's the one we're going to do in this hour, actually. Brilliant. So there's also a little pocket template in there, so you can re-add those pockets onto it. And the best thing to use for that is, you know, when you get jeans that are a little bit too long, I'm just looking at yours. No, yours are the right size, well done. But I'm short, and all my jeans are too long. So that bit that's at the bottom that gets kind of scrunched up a bit and gets worn a little bit as you're walking along. If you have a look at that, that's the bits I've used for those, because you can see those creases.
Yes, so that would be how they would be.
And you can see the creases where it's been a little bit too long, and I think it just really adds texture to it. And this is the fun part about this. You can really work with the worn elements of the fabrics and the jeans or whatever you're using to really kind of bring out special little features within it.
And I think this is a project that as time goes on you'll probably add to, because I'm sure you'll get little odd buttons and elements that you'll want to stitch in place, a little bit of embroidery maybe on there, maybe get your fabric pens and really turn it into a mixed media project. But it's creating that fabulous cover, but you are going to be getting that book in there as well. Incidentally, over 60% of the stock has gone of the complete bundle as well. So yeah, it's proving to be a very popular one.
The book on its own, I think is available as an end of call offer.
It is, yes. Yeah.
And it is also half lined and half like plain.
Okay.
So you can kind of have sketch bits in the back, and then you
Wonderful.
can write notes and things in the front.
Love it. Then down at the front, you've got things like your eyes and your noses, because of course you'll be able to make your little teddy bear as well. You've got your templates as well here for your dream catcher feathers. Bias tape in there, hook and loop, it's all in here. You don't have to find any of those extra bits and pieces. All you need to do is find yourself those extra denim fabrics. Now I know at the moment you can't get out there to the charity shops, but I know that many of us have got given the opportunity to clear out things as well. So
Well,
it's
jeans you're too big for, jeans you're too small for, you know, that kind of thing. Things that you've maybe gone out of style, out of fashion.
Technically, it doesn't have to be denim. It could be any fabric that you've got.
Yeah,
You just
it
might
needs to be a stiffer
reinforce
fabric.
it.
Yes, it needs
yeah.
to be a slightly stiffer fabric, and I think we might have interfacings
Which
on
you could
the
apply
show
to make
somewhere.
if you've got a lighter fabric.
Yes.
A couple of projects at the back of the set here as well. The Dream Catcher, absolutely beautiful. Again, your MDF hoop, you're going to get that within your set as well. And again, if you do want extras of these, you can
The
get hold of them.
feathers are brilliant as well for adding onto those notebooks.
Yeah.
And
Make a
those
fabulous, like,
feathers are
bookmark.
made from exactly the same piece of fabric. It just depends on which way you cut them out in the first place, because denim, blue denim, is generally made with white threads running in one direction, your top to bottom,
Yeah.
and then your blue ones are running in your weft direction, left to right. And depending on how you cut those out, that's how you're going to get those different effects on your feathers.
Do treat yourself. End of call, you'll see there's a seam unpicker. That's going to come in very useful for creating that effect as well. Yeah, do keep your eye on those. And the little tool belt here, I think this is a brilliant idea. Another use for those pockets that you've got on jeans that maybe, yeah, we've all
And that's
had them
exactly
where
it.
they're kind
See
of
how
gone on the
tired
seams.
those jeans were, where they're kind of fraying on the pockets and things like that. When you turn it into something like this, that just then adds character.
Yes.
So, you know, they maybe, you know, aren't usable as, and they weren't usable as jeans because one of those pockets was half hanging off and you could see his bum through them.
Oh,
so
no.
I took them off him.
Exactly.
You don't want that. No, you don't want that. So I took them off
need
him
that on a Saturday
and
night,
I
do we?
recycled them.
I love it. There you go. So pretty much those are it. I mean, there's loads of other projects we haven't gone into in finer detail.
Find the cuff.
Oh, the cuff. Where's the
Yeah,
cuff?
there's a little cuff in there
Oh, down
somewhere.
here. Down here.
That has a little...
that's what your hook and loops for then.
Yes, yes, yes.
There's your little pin cushion cuff, as you can see. It's not for taking your blood pressure with, but it was a fabulous idea.
Have you
because
got it
you've
the right way
needles and your
round?
pins there. That way round?
Yeah, there
Oh,
you go. It'll fit better that way round because
It's
it's
okay. I just need to try and balance
shaped.
it on my wrist.
I know.
There you go.
You should have seen me trying to take a picture of myself with it on. That
That
was
an easy
hard.
one to do. But clever idea though. And again, a perfectly little pin cushion there, again, recycling those fabrics. So let's reiterate that deal because it is a phenomenal deal. You've got 20 projects in total. You've got 12 projects coming from your one-day special. And of course, you've got your fabric panel to get you started with those fabrics. But once you have started creating with those fabrics, of course, you can incorporate your own as well to make even more projects. You've got the fabulous templates there that would normally be $14.99 for the templates for your Celtic knot quilt. But then you've got your additional elements, as you can see, that you're introducing from the Denim Fabazine as well. You are getting both of them. So 20 projects to start with. And the tools, many of which you're going to be able to go on and use for many, many years to come. The panels, the threads, the fabrics, the inspiration. And of course, from Wednesday, you'll have those YouTube videos as well to take you step by step through them. But what an affordable way to get hold of these. Now, as I mentioned, you've got a £10 saving with your one-day special. We're taking that one with us along to the Denim as Fabazine. Another £5 savings, that's £15 saving. And then if you're going for them all together, you've got an additional £10 saving, which means you're actually saving £25 overall on these, bringing the price right the way down, meaning that first flexi buy is just £32.98. Absolutely phenomenal value for money, for so much inspiration, so many projects and so much fun. I think that's the key thing with this one.
Yes,
and
the Fabazines are all about that. They're all about trying new things out, different techniques, and we try to put as many kind of different things as we can in each one. And sometimes it's just different ways of putting a zip in. It's different ways of, you know, using something that you've seen every day.
That's it. And just before we get into demo, don't forget those those needles, those happy hour needles, because if you are working with your denim, you will need to make sure you've got the stronger needle, because that's one of the things that people will say, my machine's skipping stitches, the needle's breaking, you're getting all sorts of different effects that aren't helping you get the right effects. Well, this one, you've got your 90 needles, which are going to be perfect for your denim, and then you've got your 80, which are going to be perfect for working with your regular fabrics. 10% of the stock has gone already. That's a brilliant price to be able to get that many needles for less than a tenner. So do treat yourself to those. Get them into your basket, 112832.
And they are universal. They will fit any machine.
That's it. Perfect.
So you don't need to worry if yours is an older machine or a new machine. They'll fit everything. So you're fine.
Lovely. What are we up to then,
Okay,
Hayley?
so I have the leg of the jeans that made that apron that's over there, and the little bear that's over there as well. So I've got one leg left, half a leg left, and I'm going to do the notebook cover again. So I folded it in half and then had a quick look first of all and thought about how it looked and if there was anything I wanted to keep feature-wise, because obviously on the one example you've got there, there's a seam down the centre of it, so that's what I've had a look at, and that's quite a flat seam that's on this side, but this one's got a nice little bit of top stitching on, so that's the side that I'm going to choose. So I'm going to use that as my middle bit. I'm going to just check that there's enough there. Yeah, there's loads there to get me all the way across. So what I'm going to do is just open it up along this seam here. Now you can do that with a seam ripper if you want to, or you can just go out with a pair of scissors.
I think sometimes now I'm guilty of this one. I think, right, I'm going to unpick it. And I'll sit there unpicking, and I suddenly think, well, actually, I've sat here, it's taken me an hour to unpick something, and I've gained like half an inch worth of fabric.
Yes, well, that's it. It's worth just measuring it up first, just to see what you can get away with. And if you don't need to do it, then you don't need it. But keep these bits, because the next project along that we haven't seen yet, that kind of seaside scene, perfect for that. Obviously, I have used two different colours. I mean, it's all still denim, it's still the same weave. However, I've used a beige one and a couple of different blues in mine. That's absolutely fine. If you can find a different coloured one, then all the better. It's just I didn't want every single project to be blue on the telly.
Okay.
That's the only reason I've done it. And plus he had a hole in the bum of these. So honesty's the best policy, really, I think. So I'm just going to pop that over there and check that I've got enough, and I'm getting that kind of sitting exactly where I want it on the spine of there.
If you wanted to add any decoration, would you add decoration
now's the time to do it. Yeah, now's the time to do it. So
if you've got an embroidery machine or something, you could actually embroider your name on the front, couldn't
but
you?
there's a little template for the pocket in there. Now, this is the piece that comes off the panel, and this is the piece that is exactly the right size that you need for your backing for this particular book. So I'm going to just line that up there, just flip it over, make sure I've got enough. Top, bottom, left, right, and I think that's probably lined up just about right where it is. So I'm going to pin these two together and use this as a template to cut that second piece out.
Because it's fabric and it's flexible. Shall I show you the inside? Because, of course, you're making a book cover that you can take off. So when you've actually used your book up, or you've got a different style of book that you're wanting to use, then you can simply take that cover off. Now, obviously, this one has got the plain fabric on the inside, but the decorative fabric that Hayley's working with is the one that you can use from your panel, or you might want to introduce your own fabric and use the fabric from the panel for something else. But then, of course, what you can do is then pop that back onto a different book as time goes on, or even make more of these. I mean, you can get hold of the books, as Hayley said, as an end of call item if you wanted to, and actually make these and give them as gifts for people. Mother's Day, Father's Day, any opportunity. I think it's a brilliant idea for you to actually get hold of these. And of course you could put a pen in the pocket or something like that, or use one of the little loops that you sometimes get on the side to add a little loop at the side here, and you could put your pen in there as well. So really clever idea. And of course just one of the 20 projects you can be able to create if you go for the bumper.
Well, use one of the belt loops.
Yeah, you could do
off one of the other pieces. Now that all depends on obviously your machine, because if you've got a machine that is not as happy with as many layers, then yes, maybe use a bit of elastic or something instead and do it that way. But use what you've got. If you've got the bits left over on the jeans and it's all going to coordinate in, then you absolutely use it up.
These templates are just going to be starting points, because when you start looking at the different elements that are in the jeans that you're cutting up, you'll start thinking, oh, I can use that here.
Well, that's it. And obviously I've, because we are not allowed to advertise the jeans that they were, I've had to be a little bit careful and take out those elements from what I've been doing. But if you want to add those in, then
I've got
absolutely.
a little denim rucksack that I've made with a pocket, and it has got the brand of jeans on that pocket.
Exactly. So you can have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, I'm not allowed to have that fun, but you can have more fun. Okay, so that is my, that's going to be the front of my book cover.
Nice piece of fabric.
And then that is going to be my lining piece. So I got those, but then we're going to need the bits that are going to be holding it in.
Okay.
So I would say there's probably not quite enough there. Now, the one I've done has got denim pieces on the inside. Now, absolutely you can do that if you wish. If you don't want to do that and you want a lighter weight fabric, then you can always substitute in a piece of cotton into there if you want.
And I guess it depends on which order you're doing your projects in, because if this was your first project, then you probably would have enough fabric in there.
What I would recommend for order is I would do the apron first, because that is a specific part of the jeans that you're wanting to use for that.
Okay.
Then I would probably go for either the bear or the bag. Now, that bag I've done out of a full piece of denim, but it does say in the book that, you know, patch pieces together to make your own piece of denim first.
Yeah.
The book cover you can usually get out of the bottom half of a leg.
Okay, so you don't need a huge
So you don't need a huge amount of that.
Okay.
You are going to need more for the bear.
Yeah.
So I would say that is a good one to take out next.
Right. Good point,
And then when you the bear, obviously the bear came out. You can see all of these three. This one, the apron and the bear all came out of one pair of jeans. The denim, the book cover, that was, I'd cut jeans off into shorts.
Oh, yes,
and that was just the bit that was left over from that.
Yeah.
And a couple of the feathers have come out of that as well. So you can kind of mix and match a lot of stuff in together. You don't, I would say, roughly you want at least 2 pairs of jeans into this. If you've got an extra one or you've got a few scraps of denim lying around,
And I
even
think
better.
as time goes on, hopefully it's not going to be much longer before we can actually get out to the charity shops and perhaps recycle.
Perfect. That would be
Top tip
perfect
from me,
for
go
this.
for the biggest size you can find.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
And you will find a larger size there. You get more fabric, aren't you, for your money? So that's my tip. My tip as well is if you're wanting to get hold of the Celtic knocked template that we've got within the original one-day special, you need to be quick. It's now gone limited stock. £14.99. You're getting all of the different elements that you've got here, but of course you can get hold of it within your one-day special and within your complete set as well. So here you go. You can see just across here, you've got all the different numbers there, working your way through there. So you've got your, where am I? I can't see where my finger is. Oh, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Which is back to front, which threw me. But you're actually getting all of those, and it's actually sold out now. So by the time I got sorted out with my numbers, it's gone anyway. But you can get it within your one-day special and the complete bundle. So I'll let you know if any of those come back into stock. But for the time being, we've had to say goodbye to it. How are you getting on, Hayley?
Okay, so I am just cutting the sides. Now this piece actually was in my scraps, but happily it had, I've not cut that very straight, but we'll be all right. It had a little hem on there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that as my little bit to catch my cover of my book, and then I don't have to worry about folding it over. Now what you can do, this is just so I've got the minimal amount of layers, because if your machine won't take all of the layers, then you've got that as an option. If your machine will take the layers, then what you can do is create a nice folded pocket like that, so you've got no seam on there. Or your third option is to do exactly that same thing, but do it with the denim, which obviously is going to match in with everything else. But we are going to cheat, and we are going to use this piece that was already had a hem on, but that I haven't cut very straight. So we will line all that. Let's just cut that to the right size. I think that's going to be about exactly in half for this. I'll take it. I was very lucky. Oops. And these are lovely long scissors, these ones. They're really nice for cutting long, straight bits out. Okay, so we're going to start to assemble it. So we want this piece face up first. Then we want our 2 bits that we're going to trap the sides in with. Now, I haven't cut these the straightest, but we'll be okay. So that one onto there. and that one onto there. Then this one on the top. And then we're going to stitch all the way around the outside, leaving a little gap at the bottom here. So can you do some, as we like to say, admin? Well, you were doing housekeeping. You were doing housekeeping though. So do you want to do housekeeping?
Housekeeping. I can be housekeeping.
You can be housekeeping and Scott can be admin.
That's it, yeah. In the Hochanda Hotel. Now this, I've just found this. This is brilliant. This is using that Celtic knot template that we were chatting about earlier on. It's a big, huge cushion, as you can see, with an envelope back there. So what a lovely idea, using your fabrics to create this. And that template did sell out earlier on. Just to let you know, we have managed to secure some of those on extended delivery. So we've brought the details back up again. 27th of February with regards to that, getting hold of those. So not too long to wait. So if you do want to get them by themselves, you can do. But as I said before, bear in mind that you can get hold of them within the one-day special and also in that complete bundle. And if you can stretch that, I would certainly recommend that you do that, because it's only an extra £20 or so if you are going for the one-day special. So it makes sense, because you're going to get those additional elements in there as well. And don't forget, you're getting that fabric panel as well, and that's a key thing. If you want the panel by itself, I think we have got it available, but of course it's quite a considerable purchase when you're thinking about how you're getting it within the one-day special. Now looking at the denim at Fabazine, because of course we have got the deal on your screen where you can get hold of the one-day special and your denim version. And this particular one, you've got 8 additional projects in there, and this is the one that Hayley's working with at the moment. Again, you've got elements on here that you're going to be able to use over and over again. So you've got instruction book with your 8 different projects in there. But as we work our way down, you'll see that you have got your acrylic templates in this one as well. So you can see you've got your little hearts, which are actually perfect for creating your different projects that you've got within this set. And then as we work our way across, you've also got your your French curves as well. So these are all things that you will go on and use over and over again after you've used up all the denim from your first donated pair of jeans for these ones, and you'll use them with lots of other things that you've got. You're also going to get your your A5 booklet within this one, so your little book that you're going to be using for the project Hayley's working on. You're going to get your fabulous MDF feathers, as you can see there, for your dream catcher as well. And then you've just got loads in here. You've got your little plastic templates, you've got eyes in there, noses, you've got bias tape, thread, interfacing. It's all in there. And such a fabulous deal. Now, if you're wanting to go for the denim version, you can do £34.99, and you're saving £5 on this one. Now, if you do want to go for this one by itself, yeah, okay, fair enough. But again, that £5 saving is being carried forward into the bundle that we've got on your screen. So the £10 saving that you can see there, that is in addition to the £5 saving you're getting for the denim, and it's also in addition to the £10 saving that you're getting with the one-day special. So although it says £10 on your screen, it actually equates to £25 overall, which is why it's proven to be such a popular bundle, and so many are you going for everything. Now, if you've gone for one of the Fabazines in the past, because we're on issue number 5, I'd love to hear from you. We've not got a huge amount of time left, but there's still time for you to email in. I am. I'm on with you at 12 o'clock tomorrow.
So if they send them,
yes,
we can do it then?
We can.
Okay.
We can mention it then at 12 o'clock. Good thinking, Batman. Oh, and other superheroes are available. Details on your screen if you're wanting to get involved with the whole bundle. And of course, if you want to go for your one-day special or your denim version, then you find the details on the website. How are you getting on over there?
Do you find yourself doing that outside of work as well? Oh, I forgot to put my pocket on. Oh. Poop.
What's happened?
I was going to put my pocket on.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
It's okay.
Yeah, I suppose you could stitch it on, and you'd see it on the
you
lining,
can hand stitch
yeah,
it on. But I should have put a pocket on
Not
first.
to
We
worry.
did discuss that, didn't we, though?
That's all.
Did stuff need to go on
lots
first?
of other things.
Okay, so the last thing to do is just to trim those corners off, because especially with the denim, you want to reduce that bulk, so you want to get as little as possible on there.
Any tips with regards to sewing denim? I know that we've been talking about using the needles, but things like stitch length, anything like that we need to alter?
If you're looking to get that effect of the top stitching, then longer length stitches, because if you have a look on those outside stitches, have I got any left on any of these, or have I chopped it all off? I think I've chopped it all up.
I might have some on here on the book because I think I can show it on here. So if we go
Yeah,
down,
on the side of there, you'll see it's actually a longer stitch length. And I would say use your normal 2.5, 3 millimetre for actually stitching it together. But then if you want those top stitch details, then sometimes a longer stitch and a heavier weight thread, that kind of orangey, really traditional orangey denim thread. I would definitely go for a top stitch needle, which generally has a larger eye, which will accommodate those thicker threads, and go for a longer stitch length, so you get kind of more of it showing, if you know what I mean.
And of course, the thing is, you could actually mimic that stitching if you wanted to as well. So if you, the way that your fabric was cut, you didn't have that and you wanted it to be there, then you can kind of make that up from your different fabric. Different pairs of jeans, you could have a different cover on the back to the front.
Why not? If you have a look on the apron, I don't know if you can whip that off there. The button's just on my side over here. And if you have a look, the pocket that's been added onto the front of it, that I've top stitched back on.
Be careful with labels.
I think I cut them all off. I think I've been pretty good. There might be one on the inside.
One on the inside, it's at the button.
Oh,
it's
okay. Cover the button then.
So yeah, you've got your button.
But that's down from the scissors and across a bit. That pocket there. That's one I've stitched back on.
Oh, I see,
but I managed to get a thread that was pretty close.
Yeah.
And just used the lines that were already there as my guide to kind of follow it round and stitch it back together.
Yeah, looks like it's made to be there, doesn't it? Love it. There you go. And that one, of course, is one of your projects. And it's one of the first projects that Hayley suggests you use when you are working with a brand new pair of jeans.
Yeah, well, just because that one uses a specific part of the jeans, so you want to kind of get that Doris.
Well, I like to give our mannequins names, and this one's Doris.
Okay, so that is. That's my cover there. Now there's a little bit of top stitching to do at the bottom there just to reseal that gap that we've created. All these little bits everywhere. And you can see when I've turned this right side out, it looks wrong because I've got one side that's folded over and that's an easy fix.
It's slipping down a bit. I think she's lost weight.
Well, yes, that was...
Oh, there's a little pin in the back.
Yes, there was, because she's skinnier than me. Yeah. So, actually, with those, what you do need to do is, you were saying, get the biggest jeans you can.
Yes.
With that one, where you actually want it to kind of sit on your hips, you want a pair of jeans that's kind of 2 to 3 sizes bigger than you are, because that's how you want it to kind of sit. So, that's my 2 little pockets. Oops. So this is just adding in another little piece of fabric if you don't want to do it the same way as we've done there. It's just showing you alternatives.
I think it's kind of nice with the contrast.
Will slip into there, and if I fold it back the other way, that one will go into that side. There we go.
That's cute and done so quickly.
Yeah, this is a really quick one. And if you wanted to add that on first, then you would. There's a little pocket template in the actual magazine, which you can trim out, and then you can add little pockets and things on. You could add contrasting ones. The bias binding, you've got some to do the apron with, but there will be a little bit left over.
Okay.
So what you can do is, I used my little bit left over on the cuff, so it matched.
Yes.
So I've got 4 projects out of there now.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Out of 1 pair of jeans.
Fabulous.
See, it's all good. So yes, you could add that on first. If, like I've done, I forgot to add that on first, I've still got that little gap in there, so I could quite easily hand stitch that on if I wanted to at this point.
Fabulous. Thank you very much, Hayley. There you go. That's one project. I'm going to let you get ready for the next one.
Thank you.
Okay. Keeping an eye on the time, though. We have only got probably about, 10 minutes or so left?
That went quick, didn't it?
Yeah, very, very quick. Very quick. So let me give you a recap very quickly. We'll go over to Hayley afterwards. Because, of course, this is your one-day special and some. That's the way that I would call this, because you've got the one-day special with your 20 projects in there. You've got your £10 saving. It's a phenomenal deal, because not only are you getting the inspiration with your magazine, the tuition, the patterns, everything that you need to create your 20 projects, you're also getting some of the additional pieces that you need. One of which being a huge panel of fabric, to get started. So your fabric's included with those. Some of the projects you might want to add in your own fabrics, things like your Celtic not things. So yeah, the panel over by Hayley has got obviously the applique that we've been talking about. It's got all the fabric on there to do your wonderful hot chocolate. I keep calling it hot chocolate. Well, it is hot chocolate after you put it in the microwave, isn't it?
It's hot chocolate heat pad.
At the top there, you've got your applique garden, as you can see. As you go across to the right, you'll notice the tree again and all the little characters that you're going to be able to applique in place. The fabulous butterflies for your brooches. The two kind of pointed elements that you can see in your pink and your blue, those are going to be perfect.
Oh, should we do that one next?
You can do.
Because we can talk. We can kind of talk through that one. And
so that one's going to be for you to actually create your needle case with and keeping your scissors in there. Spoken about the hot chocolate as we work our way down, all that gorgeous pink and purple. That's going to create your fabulous little dog, your paisley print dog. You've got 20 projects in total within your one day special. There's lots more on there. You can add in your own fabric for things like your quilting projects as well. But you've even got your fabulous alpaca, which is going to be one of your projects. I just love him as he is. I think he's adorable. The gorgeous circular fabric there, that's going to be a wonderful bag when you work alongside the MDF handles that you're getting within your kit as well. So these are all projects that you're going to be able to create within that bundle. Talking about 20 projects overall. So when you break that down, £64.98. I mean, how much does that work out per project? £3.25. My goodness, it costs you more than that to buy a pattern to make any of them. And then you've still got to add in your extras. So, yeah, it certainly does make sense. And you can see that some of the wonderful projects that you are going to be able to create with these. Over 60% of the stock has gone. This is the second hour featuring our one-day special and the complete bundle. So it's phenomenal to think that this time of night that so many of these have gone. Don't forget, if you're working with your denims, you need to have the right needles for the occasion and your happy hour deal. You've only got about 15 minutes or so to take advantage of these. You're getting 2 packs of your 80 needles, which are perfect for your general sewing, working with the panel that we've been talking about. And then you've got your 90 grade, and your 90s are the ones that you're going to be using for your denim. So they're kind of a little sturdier. You've actually got 20 minutes left with regards to this one. I completely got the time wrong with that one, didn't I? So yeah, you're going to be able to get these for that price on your screen just for the next 19 minutes or so. If you want to go for multiples, then you can do. It's not limited to one per customer. So of course, the complete bundle, if you're putting these in, you can spread the cost. Makes sense too, doesn't it? An extra £5 on each of those payments. So 20 projects with your one-day special, £10 saving, absolute bargain. But then add in the additional Fabazine for your denim fabrics and even bigger savings, because you've got a £5 saving with this one. Another 8 projects. Now, you're going to incorporate your own fabric. So to help you with that, and obviously to make it a worthwhile bundle to go for, how Hayley has done is introduce the additional templates. So you're actually getting more tools and templates within this one that you're going to be able to use over time as well. So the instructions are going to take you through all your 8 projects, but then you've got your acrylic templates for your heart, your acrylic templates for your French curves as well, your MDF feathers there, as you can see, your hook and loop there for making your fabulous wristband, the eyes, the nose for the teddy, loads and loads. You're just going to add in your fabrics. And for this one, you're paying £34.99. You've got £5 saving on this one. But if you're going to add it in with your one-day special, which makes sense too, it really does, then everything comes together with those savings. So you've got your £15 saving overall, £10 from your one-day special, £5 from your denim bundle, and then an additional tenner, bringing it down to £64.98. 691445, 20 projects, £3.30. What was it? £2.25. £3.25. £3.25 per project it was, wasn't it? Yeah, for the 20. Yeah, I couldn't remember. Honestly, I'm like a goldfish. I am like a goldfish. And this is a lovely mixed media project as well. You can see your beach scene there. Yeah, lovely little teddy bear as well. So there you go.
Teddy bear's got proper joints.
Proper joints?
Proper joints.
How do they go, Hayley?
Like this.
Proper joints?
Yes. He's got elbow joints, he's got shoulder joints.
Movements are available.
No.
It doesn't just have to do that.
Like a robot.
So, Hayley, you're going to work
I'm limited with space for movement.
Don't blame it. Don't worry.
What is wrong with you?
Now, this is a project Hayley's going to take us through next. Now, the fabric is all printed on your panel, so you don't need to find your fabric for this one. And this is a really nice, usable project if you're a sewer. And you can see here you've got all the elements, the pockets there that you can be putting all your bits and pieces, maybe putting things like your needles in there as well, your scissors, your pens, whatever you're wanting to put in there, then you can do, because you've got good sized pockets in there. So Hayley, how do we get started?
Okay, so you get started by taking your 2 panels that are up on the large panel up there, cutting those both out. They're right up the top. I'm waiting for... There he is. Those 2 panels that we're going to see in a second.
The pink one and the blue one.
Pink one and the blue one. You cut both of those out, put them face to face, and then sew all the way around the edge, and then turn that right side out. Now, if you want to add a looped buttonhole, then you add the loop to the inside when you layer those 2 pieces together, and that will leave you with your looped buttonhole.
Do you need to find your own little loop if you want to do that?
No, there should be some, I think there's a little bit of ribbon in there as well,
Okay,
so you should be fine. Okay, so once that's done, and it's turned right side out and pressed nice and flat, if you're wanting to add a piece of wadding, you can add wadding just to that front section.
Okay.
So you can just cut a piece that's the right size and slide it into that front section, and then each of the sections between the panels have actually been stitched up between, and that's absolutely essential if you have got a felt or a batting in between there.
Okay.
If you are going to try and put something in, I would suggest something very, very thin like a felt rather than something quite chunky like a batting. And then you've got a decision as to how you want to put it together. So you can have it the same way as we've got it there, which is blue on the inside, which will create mostly dressmaking pockets, but then with one kind of flash of pink in there. However, you can choose to go the other way.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because this print is printed exactly the same on both sides, you can choose to go the other way, where you will have all blue pockets and then one pink one at the bottom, like that.
Fabulous.
It's not folded the best, but yes, that's your other option. So you can choose which way around you want it. Once you've decided which way to go, we'll go the other way, just because it's
Hayley,
pressed
can I ask
to
a
go that
cheeky
way.
question? If we wanted to make these
2.
with our own fabrics, could we add our own fabrics
You
into
could
these?
make 2 if you wanted to.
Okay.
That's fine.
I thought I'd ask, because I know that they'll do it anyway, our viewers, because they're canny
the
crafters.
same could be done with the bag.
Yeah.
So
Rather than lining
anyway,
it.
well, we'll discuss that in a second. But once you've got it to this stage, I would say press it nice and flat into... I'll turn it right way up. There we go. Press it into that position first, where it's nice and flat, so you've got nice, easy lines to follow, and then stitch that U shape. So down here, across the bottom, back up the other side, and then that will hold all of those pockets in place. And the only other thing I need to remind you of is obviously when you turn this right side out, that bottom piece will still be open. So what you need to do is just press those in before you go ahead and pop that together. And then when you stitch that U shape and you come along the bottom, that will seal up that gap that you had in the bottom as well. But as you were saying, yes, a lot of these projects could, in theory, be doubled.
Yes.
Because you've got the 2 panels for the hot chocolate heat pad.
Again, just bring it
if you put something blank on the back.
I kind of like the idea of putting fleece on the back of there.
You could, absolutely.
Make it nice and cosy.
Yeah, why not? Why not? And then you'd get 2 out of there.
Exactly.
Now, for those, as we mentioned in the previous hour, you need about 1 kilo of rice to fill one of those. It's deceptive, is all I'll say. Oh, actually, I had a little bit left over, might be just under 1 kilo of rice you need to fill that. The bag panels that you can see all down the side there, you've actually got the bag and the lining there. So hang on, I'm going for a wander. There we go.
Good size pieces, those
So
fabrics,
these ones are, that's your bag front, and then that's your lining. So if you wanted to just use your 2 bag front pieces and then use your 2 lining pieces for another one,
really good
because you've got your 2 base pieces on the bottom here.
Oh wow, so that's included as well, my goodness.
Yes, you've got your 2 base pieces as well. So you could, in theory, make 2 bags. And you wouldn't necessarily need to put the hooped handles on. You could put alternative handles on if you wanted to. So in theory, you've got enough to make 2 bags as well if you add your own fabric to it.
Yeah, as a canny crafter, I think that's a lot of our viewers. I mean, we're getting busier now for that complete bundle, because I think you're realising that once you've got those, okay, you can make them double-sided, like we were talking about there with the chocolate one.
Well, we give you, I mean,
brilliant. But
we make,
adding some extra fabric, get twice as
we
many
make
projects.
Fabazine as if, you know, people are just starting out sewing, and every time we do them, we make them, well, sort of a little bit more difficult.
Yes.
And that's just to kind of move things on a little bit for people and get them on to the next step and try something different. Really.
And it might be that you think to yourself, you know what, I don't know whether I'd actually use that as a heat pad. You know, you quite suit that.
She's just giving it this.
Do you know what else I do with this as well? Because obviously I know a little bit about sewing. I'd actually cut this up and make them into little pencil cases.
Yeah, I mean, you could cut this
You've
down
got
further
1, 2,
if
3,
you
4,
wanted
5,
to.
6 pencil cases adding in your own zip.
I'm not letting you near this. With your pointy finger and your
I'm going to
handbag.
be sewing for ages with all of these. My goodness.
And obviously the denim one, there's a lot of tools in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tools, because what we showed you in the first hour, if I can grab one quickly.
Oh, we're down to the last 45 seconds of the hour.
I'm going to be
Hayley, you're going to be
quick.
back at 8 o'clock in the morning as well, aren't you?
I am. I'm going to be super, super quick. You ready?
Okay.
So, this is a little seam guide, and you can use this with
Oh,
any of
little
your
widget around the
acrylic
edge.
templates.
Fabulous.
Oh, it needs to be flatter fabric. But can you see, it
Gives you your seam allowance.
will give you your seam allowance if you start off with your nice
Clever.
flat fabric.
And you can use that with any template that you've
You
already got in your
can.
stash as well. I'm going to be up after the break. Hayley, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Look forward to working with you tomorrow.
Oh, indeed. Let's go.
So, yeah, stay tuned. We've got lots more coming up. We've got another live hour here at Hochanda, so please don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We've got a lot coming up in the next hour. See you in a moment. Oh, I've got a lovely hour, really looking forward to it. Working with Jay again, and busy and creative, incredibly busy earlier on. And then, of course, you've got your rewind, repeat opportunities with your one-day special, and a fabulous happy hour with Stamps Away.
Did you know you can watch Hochanda 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for free using our app on Roku? Just like your smartphone accesses an app store to add new applications, your Roku streaming player or Roku TV accesses the Roku channel store to add new channels. By downloading the Hochanda channel, you'll be able to access your favourite craft channel on your TV anytime you want to watch. Here's how to do it. Turn on your TV and connect your Roku device. Next, turn the power on and press the home button on your Roku remote. Scroll up or down to select settings. Select your network and select setup connection. Roku uses a wireless connection, so select your router name and add your password. This should be on the side or the bottom of your router. If this is the first time using Roku, then you'll need to set up an account on the device or by going to the Roku website. That's it. Now it's time to add the Hochanda app. Simply press the home button on the Roku remote. Scroll up or down using the arrows on your remote to select streaming channels. Then open the channel store. At the top of the channel store, you'll find a list of featured, new and popular categories to explore. Enter Hochanda into the search bar and this will take you to the Hochanda app. Now simply select Add Channel. When you see the added channel screen, press OK and return to the home page. Now scroll down to the Hochanda app and press the star button on your remote. You can then use the arrow buttons to move Hochanda to the top of the screen for quick and easy access. And that's it! You can now watch, purchase and catch up with your favourite shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on your TV whenever you feel crafty.
Hello, I'm Hayley, and you might have seen me presenting here at Hochanda. Well, I've always been an avid crafter behind the scenes and have been given the opportunity to share some of my favourite products with you in a monthly show called Handmade by Hayley. So I hope you'll join me, let me inspire you, and maybe you will discover a new craft in the process.
Hello, my name's Stuart and I'm the Managing Director of Oakwood Archer. Oakwood Archer is a family-run business and my son and my daughter work very hard with me to bring the best craft items to you in the UK. We specialise in high-quality items brought into the UK from all over the world, including brands like Kaisercraft, Stampendous and Impression Obsession. Working with Hochanda is fantastic for us. It gives us the opportunity to bring all of these brands and all of these products from all over the world direct to you, the crafter in the UK. Our products include stamps, dies, papers, buttons, trimmings, ribbons and album making kits. Just about everything you need to be a good crafter. So please don't miss Oakwood Archer shows on Hochanda.
Exciting news! businesses. For the 5th year in a row, Hochanda has been awarded the top accolade of Platinum Trusted Service Award from Feefo. These awards recognise businesses that deliver exceptional experiences as rated by you, our customers, and we're honoured to have been selected. The Trusted Service Award means you can shop with confidence, based on the reviews from over 60,000 Hochanda customer experiences. Thank you for your independent reviews. It means a lot to us.
Hello, I'm Carol.
And I'm Hayley.
And together we are the Dreamies.
Dreamies have been around for 11 years now. We started with CD-ROMs, we've developed into stamps, paper pads, dies. We've now got the Dinky Inkies range as well, so we've got so much to bring to you at Hochanda.
We design everything in-house and we manufacture in the UK. We produce tutorials to inspire you to get the most from our products.
On the Dreamies shows, we hope to further inspire you with all the techniques and tips that we can offer, hopefully getting you to use all of your inks, your flower making techniques, and really build on all the skills you probably already have. Make sure you join us for the Dreamies shows on Hochanda.
Hello there and welcome back. Well, it's our final live hour for the day, but you've chosen a brilliant one to tune in for because we've got a fabulous hour. We had an hour earlier on with the lovely Jay, and that was at 5 o'clock. We had a fabulous time, Jay. I really enjoyed myself.
Great. Yes. Yeah, lovely.
And our viewers were loving all the brand new items that you brought to us.
Yeah, they were, which is lovely. I mean, that's great for me
Nice,
as a
isn't it?
designer. It's lovely that, you know, everybody likes what I'm bringing.
Well, this is it, and you really did hit the nail on the head because we've got all sorts of different kind of levels of complexity, different styles as well. So I do urge you to jump ahead and have a little look on the website. And we've got some very traditional styles as well. And that's kind of what we're looking at with this first piece. I'm going to hold up the finished piece for you because, of course, this is what you're going to create with the kit. That's the more important part in my feeling anyway. This is what you're going to create. You are going to have all of the medium to create this, minus the board and the frame, but we'll be learning a little bit about framing your projects during this hour. But what a beautiful piece of crewel work here, and it's called Provencal, and that's because of the colours that you've chosen for this one, Jay.
It is, yes. We use a traditional crewel motif, if you like, and stitching, but we've used the colour palette that's inspired by the Provencal region of France.
Beautiful,
so,
gorgeous
lovely
colours.
summer colours.
And I love it because when you actually look at these, if you've not looked at this style of work before, I mean, we've had lots of embroidery shows, but with this particular project, you've got so many different types of stitches featuring in here. So it's a really nice one as an educational piece as much as anything.
It is, yes, it's lovely, and each stitch is only used in a very small area.
Yes.
So it's an easy kit to pick up and put down, and you know, for busy people. It's not something you're going to get stuck in the middle of and get called away.
I love it, yeah. And we did learn, at 5 o'clock, we learned how to create kind of the spine of your gorgeous kind of flower, as you can see here. And that's actually built up over a couple of layers. And that's the beauty of this one. It's kind of very layered stitch work. So when I actually tilt it, hopefully you'll be able to see that you have got a kind of lot of depth and dimension with this one. So very much raised, especially as you can see down at the bottom here with the little elements there. Very three-dimensional. That's all down to the clever stitching that you've got with this one. Now, you will have noticed a Freedom Members discounted price on this one as well, which makes it a very attractive proposition, especially when you look at everything that you're getting within here. So you're going to get your fabric. Now, your fabric is key because you need to have the right fabric to be able to cope with those stitches.
That's right, yes. Yeah.
And you can see here it's a lovely kind of, well, it's a white tone with this one, so it's going to fit in with any home decor, to be honest. Beautiful printed element that you've got on here as well. So that's the guidelines for where you can lay down your stitches.
It is, yes, it's all there for you.
Lovely. And then you notice all these beautiful threads that you've got in here in all those gorgeous colours. But where do they go? Well, you don't have to worry because you have got comprehensive instructions. This is the thing that I love. It is literally like stitching by numbers because you have got obviously your key down the front here.
You have, yes. Yes.
That helps you with the different layers, as you can see there. showing you how you can work with those. And then loads and loads of pictures, loads of tuition, should I say, there, your stitch library, all of this included within here. So this is brilliant. You fitted a lot of information into this, Jo.
Well, as much as we can, we do into every kit, and certainly every stitch that we use in every kit is always included for both left and right-handed stitches.
See, that's the thing that I love. You don't assume that people have done these stitches before. So, yeah, if it's brand new to you, then you don't have to worry. You've got that tuition there, and they're freedom member price, making it a very popular one. What was the update on that one? 40% of the stock has gone, and we hardly touched on this one in the last hour, and I know we're going to feature it more so with the demonstrations in this hour, so we're going to get busier for that one. One that we were incredibly busy for, sold out, it's on extended delivery, and the extended delivery stock is literally flying out as well. We are talking Easter. Looking at 6 projects with these, and these are absolutely adorable. You've got your felt in here, you've got your fabulous threads, like a variegated thread that you've got within here, all the little seed beads, you've got your sequins in there, you've got your gingham ribbon, and you've also got your tuition. Your tuition comes to you in your instructions along with your templates to help you on your way as well. And this is a lovely project. We saw a little video earlier on of your great niece and nephew featuring in there, and they were crafting with these, making these fabulous little eggs. 6 of these at least within there.
Yeah, I actually managed to get 12
Wow.
out, but I'm a very careful cutter.
Well, this is it, yeah.
But,
so,
yeah,
if you're frugal, then you potentially could get that many out of there. But they're double-sided, they're beautiful, as you can see. Perfect if you wanted to do a different style of Easter egg hunt, maybe, or maybe use them as little gift tags. You could do quite easily. I know a lot of people do have like an Easter tree that they have in the house and decorate. And there you go, all those beautiful stitches coming together there to create those projects. 003441, rapidly approaching 60% of the restocked stock. So if you're wanting those, please do get involved quickly. It's next Thursday that they're going to be dispatched, which is the 25th of February. It's not too long, and certainly in time for Easter, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, the next piece, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. I'm just in love with this particular piece. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And hopefully I've convinced Jay to bring this as a series, starting off with spring. I mean, have a look. She is so, so beautiful. Her arms are outstretched. She's welcoming in the spring. And you can see she's bringing all those beautiful flowers with her. This is a lovely piece. It really is.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun and it's colourful, and I think after a winter, it's something we want, isn't it? Bit of colour, a little bit of bling, bit of sparkle.
Absolutely beautiful. And you'll notice, obviously you've got lots and lots of stitch work, and you can go back to the 5 o'clock show and learn how to create these beautiful stitches. It's a very fluid stitch that you'll see with the kind of skirt that she's wearing. But as we work our way down to the hemline, you'll notice that the hemline of her skirt is actually a little seedling growing into a little plant as well as it goes along. Really, really pretty design. Now, the fabric panel with this one, it's got all the markings again that you need. It's even got the colouring, that mottled blue colouring that you've got there. And again, you've got everything that you need. So here you go, let me show you that panel, showing you the markings that you need to follow for the different elements, as you can see there. Absolutely beautiful. Again, your threads, and of course you've got your variegated green in there, which means it's almost self-colouring when it comes to working with the threads for the leaves. And of course those bright colour tones there for all the fabulous flowers. And then your little packet there with a very generous supply of seed beads and sequins. You've even got your needle with this one. I think this is a beautiful one for you to actually get hold of and maybe give as a Mother's Day gift to somebody, because it could be one that you're creating. Maybe the recipient's already got a hoop, but they don't have to have a hoop. Literally, you've got everything that you need in here. It could be stitched without a hoop. You just need a little pair of scissors, really, and let's face it, everybody's got some of those tucked away. And I think it's a nice one because hopefully, fingers crossed, we will see more additions to this range. So it's something that if you are buying as a Mother's Day, maybe you've got a birthday covered with that. Maybe you'll have a Christmas covered. You can get a lot of mileage out of this range. 498205 24.99. It's sold out. It's now on extended delivery again for the 25th of February. Again, next Thursday. Now, these ones are beautiful. These ones are choices of. And you've got your earth tones with your fabulous kind of mustard background, as you can see. And then you've got the lovely spring with those lighter tones and the lighter colours. Now, the connective factor with these is they're featuring little Shisha mirrors, and we learned how to create with these earlier on, Jay. You were very clever in the way that you taught us those on that kind of oversized kind of piece of cardboard to replicate it.
It's always better to try big.
Yes.
yes.
And
So
then-
yeah.
One of the things that I love is you've actually included a proper mirror, because as I say, sometimes you'll get a sequin in the kit, but this
yes,
is a
not the
proper-
same. It's not the same. No, you need a proper mirror, and that gives you just that little flash. If it's hanging up on the wall, if you walk past it, you'll just get a little glimpse of your eye.
Catches your
You
eye
look
as you
at
go,
it.
yeah.
And,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Again, printed panel. Again, you've got your threads in there, and again, you're creating a beautiful little project. And this is something that we touched on quite a lot within the last hour, and we learned all about creating with the Shisha, how to actually get it in place, because you're not putting any holes in that mirror. You're actually using stitch to keep it in place. A very clever technique, so do make sure you go back and watch that. And then here you've got that fabulous filler stitch that we've got there. And what was that stitch called again?
Burden stitch.
Burden stitch. Yes. Fabulous names. And it's almost like a little brickwork. Beautiful little stitch there, so it's a new one on me. And then with the actual earth tones, what was the update on that one, sorry? Approaching 30% of that one. The spring, you are loving this one as well, and this one is over 50% of the stock. But again, that fabulous little stitch there is featuring in the little petals around the Shisha mirror there. But whichever you go for, they're both on the same item number, both equally beautiful. I think it's down to the colour tones, whichever your preference is. But of course, you're going to have loads of fun creating these. £15.99, 962 655. If you fancy getting those into your basket. Again, the board isn't included within these, but we are going to learn about how you're actually going to show and display these as the hour progresses. Now, the next couple of kits, these are so cute. Now, these are following a series that we've already seen from Dizzy and Creative, and you will find them on the website, and it's all about using simply two stitches, and you can create fabulous designs, and I love these. I love the names, if nothing else. We've got Rodney the Rooster, adorable. And then you've got, oh, you fabulous, I forgot what we called her, Chelsea, that was it. We called her Chloe for a moment then. Chelsea the chick, or the chicken. And again, nice idea this, just two stitches.
Just two stitches, yes. Yeah, so Chelsea uses twisted chain stitch and coral stitch, and Rodney uses stem stitch and fly stitch.
Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So these ones, are these nice for somebody maybe that's picking up a needle for the first time maybe, or a younger crafter?
Yeah, they're aimed at all ages and all levels of ability. Really, we include a piece of practice fabric in these,
Okay.
so if it is a stitch that you haven't come across before or you're setting out, then we do try and encourage people to just have a go and try those stitches before you actually work on your finished piece.
Love it, and again your beautiful threads featuring in there as well,
Yeah.
for all your stitching. Now Rodney, rapidly approaching 30%, not his age, so yeah, he looks way too young, doesn't he? So yeah, if you're wanting to get hold of this one, then do make sure you're placing your order as soon as you can, just £10.99. Now Chelsea, well, she's an older bird. She's approaching 50. So yeah, 50% of the stock naturally with these ones. And again, just lovely design, perfect for the season, aren't they? Perfect for spring, perfect for Easter. And again, a nice little panel that you could incorporate either as a picture or into a project of your own. But we'll learn and we'll talk more about that as the hour goes on. £10.99, whichever of those two you go for. 215829. Now I'm just going to step to the back and have a look at these. These are absolutely beautiful pieces of work. They're gorgeous. Now, you've got choices with regards to these. So you've obviously got your rose as a shoe over on the far side, and this beautiful iris with the purple tones in here. And again, these are quality kits. Now, I've brought the details up on your screen. Naturally, you've got flexi-buy on these ones. They are large pieces, but absolutely beautiful. I mean, these are gorgeous, Jay. Very traditional stitches within these as well.
Traditional stitches, but they're on a contemporary background,
Yes, yeah.
really. So we use the quality wools that are traditional for crewel work. We use the traditional stitches, crewel work stitches, but they're on a lovely even weave linen background that's beautifully heavy. It's lovely to stitch. It wears beautifully as well.
And you can see they've got that gorgeous design printed on there as well. Now the iris, I will warn you that 60% of the stock has gone. With regards to these, the wool that you're getting, and it is 100% pure wool with these, so we are allowed to call it that. Appletons, I mean, they are famous for actually creating their wool. Now if I'm right in thinking, didn't William Morris use their wools before he started manufacturing his own?
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
so yeah.
They're
Company
used
that
by
knows
the
what
Royal
they're
School
doing.
of Needlework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. A little bit of knowledge there. I learned that on Hochanda on another show, so there you go. All about education here. So there you go. Those are the beautiful ones that you get in the wool with your iris, and then of course you have got a different selection with regards to the rose over there. Over 50% of the stock of the rose has gone, so if you are wanting that one, please be mindful of that. But I think it's one of those ones that you will come back and you'll go for both of them at some point. It's just a case of which one do you like the look of to start with, because they are beautiful and we do see them back here. So again, spread the cost over 2 payments. Of course, because you're spreading the cost over 2 payments, then maybe you could go for both of them, because if you're looking at paying £74.99 for one of them today, then spreading the cost of 2 payments means that you'd actually get both of them, but you'd still be making that same payment. You'll have another payment in a month's time, but you have got a lovely project just waiting to be created when you're ready to do so. So the details are there on your screen, and of course if you want to add those in alongside anything else, you can spread the cost of those kits as well. And don't forget that Freedom members discount with one of the kits we were chatting about earlier on. So any goodies in your basket, you need to make sure you're checking your baskets out. We're going to head over to demonstration in just a few moments. So if you're wanting these ones, the details are there. But on the website you will find not only these kits, but all of those other fabulous kits that I've been sharing with you as well. And also do check out the Dizzy and Creative brand section as well. You'll find lots more kits that we're not featuring today, and you'll see some additional bits and pieces you can add into your basket, as you can see there. Things like your hoops, and also the seated hoop as well. This is one that we will see being used by Jay. It's a very useful one. It was a popular one in an embroidery show that I had last week as well. So yeah, worth adding that in, 'cause it's kind of like a one-time purchase, unless you've got several projects on the go, of course. And of course you can add that in alongside any of those other goodies, and keep an eye on those end of call items. What have we got in there? Ooh, there's all sorts of goodies in there. So you could be adding any of those in if you so choose, and take advantage of those discounts. Maybe a cushion pad, because you could be turning some of these into cushions. Although we did actually say that there would be cushions that you wouldn't actually be allowed to go anywhere near, really.
We did, yes.
No, we're going to be working on that traditional crewel stitch with the Provencal set. So
yes.
Which stitch are you teaching us this hour?
So I'm going to start, I've got 3 that I want to show you from that particular kit.
Let's see if I can spot them.
So I'm going to start with a whipped chain.
Oh, okay, right.
So with this one, this is a really good outline stitch, and it's lovely, it has a lot of texture. So it's lovely for crewel work.
So I'm looking here and I'm thinking, is it that area there with the little orange on the end?
No, if you look at the left-hand upper petal, the one with the trellis on it, the one on the other side, and it's got an outline on it.
Ah, I see, with the 2 different colours.
2 different colours.
Ah, yes. Okay. So I like to play this game where I try and guess the stitch, and I get it wrong every single time. I know what a French knot looks like though, so if we do a French knot, I'm there.
Yeah, okay.
So it's this area here where you can see just around that outline there, you've got that kind of 2-colour stitch appearing. Lovely.
So we start with a chain stitch, which you make as usual, but then we whip it. So, and it's great to use a contrasting thread. And what we do is bring that thread up, and I've turned my needle round, so I'm using the eye of the needle because I don't want to pierce the fabric. I'm just going to go under those chain stitches and over them like that. So I'm whipping them.
Oh, that's a fabulous effect, isn't it?
Winding. So, and this just creates a lovely raised cylinder.
Now you're using the eye of the needle to feed it through. Why are you doing it that way?
Well, I'm doing that because if I used the sharp point and I caught one of those chain stitches and went through it.
Oh, I see, yes.
I would spoil the effect of the stitch. So I've turned it round. I do warn you though, I do prick my fingers quite a lot when I do this. Be
mindful of it, yes.
So,
that's very effective though, isn't it? Because you can see the real contrast between the 2 there.
That's right, yes, and using different colours.
Do you suggest that people practice these stitches before they actually work on their final project?
If it's a stitch you haven't come across before, then always, yes, and why not? You know, especially if you've got an expensive kit.
Yes.
Then yes, be comfortable and confident about the stitches
And if
you're
you are
using.
practicing any particular style of fabric that you suggest, I mean, could you do it on something like a calico?
Calico's fabulous.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, I use that an awful lot.
Okay, beautiful.
So that's a whipped chain.
Very effective, I like that one.
And then another lovely outline is couching.
Couching.
Yes.
Ooh, okay, let's see if I can spot
See if you can spot
couching.
that one.
Now, ooh, couching. Now this tends to be, isn't it, again when you kind of stitching on top of another stitch, if I think of,
Yes.
trying to think of couching stitch with embroidery. See this one down the edge there with the scallop? Sorry, I'm pointing it to the camera and I shouldn't be pointing it to you.
No, it's
Oh.
actually the upper edge of the centerpiece. No, up, right at the top outline, that outline. there.
Oh, I see. So again, the two different colours
Yes.
featuring with it. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I'm using.
So we're looking at this area here.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Okay, so how do you get started with that area?
So what couching is holding a laid stitch by couching it down with smaller stitches.
Oh, okay.
So I'm using 4 strands of wool here as my laid stitch. And I'm going to couch that in place. And you take the couching thread right around your laid thread and you angle the needle so that it comes out and goes back down almost underneath.
Oh, I see,
that
right. So
thread.
it kind of wraps around
So
it.
that's right. So again, you're aiming for a little cylinder on top of the thread. You're not looking to flatten the laid
So
thread.
the blue wool isn't actually stitched in place, it's held in place
It's
by the
held in
supportive
place.
stitches wrapping around it.
That's
right.
it.
And are you
So-
doing this on a larger scale so as we can see what you're doing?
I
'Cause
am.
You've got quite a thick
Yes.
amount of the
Yes.
wool there.
Yes, so
Clever technique.
so you can see the only thing is really trying to keep your stitches, your couching stitches, an equal
Well, that's what I was going to
distance
say, those
apart.
crossover stitches, I'm guessing because you're seeing those as a decorative element almost, aren't you? You need to make sure that they're spaced well.
Yes. Yes, if you put them too far apart, you'll get a crinkly effect.
Okay.
And your laid thread will bubble and wave, which might be fine.
Depends on the look you go for, I
It does,
suppose, yeah?
yes. And if you put them too close together, of course, all you will see is the couching stitch. So again, it entirely depends on what effect you're aiming for.
Now you're working within the hoop for these ones, and I'm guessing that's a good way of working for these because you kind of need 2 hands at the same time when you're working with this one. I'm
That's
guessing.
really why I'm doing this, yes,
Yeah.
because it's easier for me to show you with 2 hands.
Very effective, I love it.
And most of the time, if I'm working on crewel work, I will use a hoop.
Now I'm fascinated by another stitch that I can see appearing in this one. I think it appears in several areas. You've kind of got these almost like orange elements at the end of the little kind of fronds that you've got here, and also these beautiful kind of half circles. And they've got very much a texture to them. So what type of stitch is that working with?
Well, you should recognise that one.
Are they French knots?
They are French
they're
knots.
tiny, my goodness. Wow, they are effective, aren't they? Because
Yes.
usually I see French knots just as kind of like a little, almost like a seed element. but
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
that's the effect that you get when you put them so close together.
Yes.
Oh, I've shamed myself now. I have to said I knew what a French knot was, but it just shows you how they can look so different, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
So that's
Fabulous.
couching.
Wonderful. So restful, isn't it, watching the stitches form? And of course, you don't win prizes for doing it quickly. It's about enjoying it, isn't it?
Exactly.
Nice little bit of slow
So-
stitching.
So those two give you a lovely raised tubular
Beautiful.
effect, but quite different.
Yes, yeah. Fabulous. Thank you so much. Love it. There you go. So 2 of those stitches covered from that kit. Now don't worry, all the others are covered within your instructions, and again you can see them all coming together to make a beautiful, beautiful design. It's almost like a sampler within one particular piece. So again, the kit's got everything that you need in there. Let me show you just while we let Jay get herself ready for her next demonstration, because you've got your fabric. Now this is key because of course, rather than actually having to lay down and trace out a design, which is one of those things that is kind of like putting another step in the process, the enjoyment is in the stitching, isn't it? So here you have got that panel, and again it's a nice sturdy fabric because you need it to have that kind of stability to be able to cope with the needle passing through and the different styles of stitches that you're working with. So the design is actually printed out in a kind of like a grey tone, and that is really clever because some of those stitches are going to be quite fine detail stitches, but they're still enough to cover that grey area that you've got. You've got all your different threads there, so you're not going to have to go off and find those threads. They're DMC quality, which is why you've got that beautiful kind of shimmer to them, because you can see there with the green there, I mean absolutely beautiful quality. And all of the different colours are detailed. I noticed that when we actually looked in the inside of the cover. So if you want to go on and replicate, you can do. Automatically comes with a needle, and of course it's the right needle for the job. That's the other thing. You haven't got to go off and buy a whole packet of needles. You've got the right needle here. And of course, as soon as you open it up, you can see there that stitch guide showing you all the different areas, as you can see there, taking you through the different kind of references there. So your flower centre, you can see number 1 there, and you can come across and actually find that area within the instructions to take you through it. Love the idea that you've actually got left and right-handed tuition as well, because there are different ways of stitching with these. So covering all of the different bases with regards to these, and you've got your stitch guide there. So if you've never stitched any of those stitches before, then you have got the tuition and the help there. All you're going to need is a little pair of scissors, and if you do want a hoop, an 8-inch hoop would be perfect for that size that you're working with. So there you go. If you fancy that one to create that gorgeous piece, as you can see there, then the details are there. Freedom members discounted price, and again a lovely gift for somebody, nice mindful gift for somebody that can sit and take a little bit of time. Like that one a lot. Also love the next set. This is a fun project, and this is something that if you're wanting to craft with the children, maybe teach children to sew, or maybe just a little project for yourself, a breakaway project that you can sit and do while you're watching TV, without you having to follow a pattern too closely with regards to these. Now you've got the ability to make at least 6 eggs. As Jay said, she was very frugal with regards to the placement of her patterns, and she actually got 12 out of these. So yeah, I'm sure you'll be a similar sort of idea. And also you'll probably have some of your own felt in your own stash as well. They are beautiful with the little gingham ribbon there. They're absolutely gorgeous to create little gift tags with if you wanted to. You could even hand embroider somebody's name on the back there. Use them as decorations. Use them as applique projects on other projects that you've got going. I just think it's a lovely idea, and you're getting everything that you need. So you're getting all of your felt. You're going to get your embroidery of threads that you're going to work with, the gorgeous ribbon, and of course all those fabulous seed beads and little sequins, and the pattern and tuition. $14.99, such an affordable way for you to get hold of these, and it's a nice one, as I say, to craft with the children. Now with this one, they are on extended delivery. They're back dispatching on the 25th of February. They flew out earlier on, and 60% of the stock has gone again at this stage. So if you fancy crafting with these ones with your children, then this is the kind of enjoyment that you can expect them to get from them. time working with those. Now, of course, we always say adult supervision when you're crafting with children, but when we're looking at ages of children to get involved with these, I mean, what sort of age would you suggest?
It always depends on the child, doesn't it?
That's true, actually,
but,
yes,
typically from 6 upwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. I mean, Arthur and Alyssa that you saw there, Alyssa's just 8 and Arthur's coming up for 10.
Yeah.
So, you know.
The fabulous
They're
smile
fine.
on her face when she finished there, very proud. So yes, we're busy again for those, so if you do fancy getting hold of them, then the details are there on your screen. Now I have to share this with you. Absolutely beautiful piece. Gorgeous. I mean, the fluidity that you've got, the flow, it's almost like you can imagine the breeze flowing through all these gorgeous little floral embellishments that you've got with this one. Lovely panel. It is pre-printed, so Spirit of Spring, laying down those soft grey tones that you are going to then stitch over the top of. And it's a really easy one. I mean, we saw you earlier on showing us how to stitch these out, and it's just so easy. So perhaps somebody who's never stitched before could actually achieve this.
Absolutely, they really are simple stitches that are used. It's only 2 stitches really. It's stem stitch and chain stitch, and a combination of the 2 on occasion. The butterfly is the only deviation from that, and that's a bullion knot. Yeah.
Beautiful, absolutely good. I just love the expression that you've got with this piece, and as I say, the kind of the fluidity and the freedom of movement with this one. Yes. The gorgeous little flowers created using the seed beads and the little tiny flower-shaped sequins as well. They're not easy to come by, but they are included within the kit. And then as you go down to the hemline of her skirt, as I mentioned before, I love this idea where you can see kind of the growth taking place of that little seedling coming right the way through to complete that gorgeous flow of the hem of her skirt. Really is a really pretty design. Now, if you're wanting to actually put this into a hoop, you don't have to, but the suggestions are a 9-inch hoop with this one. But to be honest, I think looking at it, it is one that I think would be quite nice to stitch without a hoop.
Yes, yeah.
Sometimes hoops can be brilliant when you need to keep the tension right, but with this one, because you've kind of got those thin flow of stitches, you don't need to worry about the tension, which is why I think it'd be fabulous as a gift for somebody. £24.99. Maybe they've shown an interest in stitching, maybe they've done cross-stitch cards and things like that. This is a lovely little idea as a gift for somebody, and as I say, perfect for Mother's Day. £24.99, very affordable. £498-205 if you fancy those. Now, talking of gifts, I mean, these ones would be fabulous gifts as well. And maybe, I mean, I don't like to put people in pigeonholes or boxes or anything like that, but with regards to these ones, I love these ones. I think if you've got somebody who's a male stitcher, then maybe they're not into their pastel tones with regards to the spring one that we're looking at. But there's a lot of male stitchers out there that would really enjoy working with these, and those gorgeous mustard tones. Or maybe you like that contemporary look.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, the geometric patterns are generally quite popular with male stitchers. Yeah.
And again, you kind of got the geometrics with this. Oh, look at that Shisha mirror there. Caught the light very much there. And that's the thing, isn't it? The geometrics, I mean, they look very, I mean, just beautiful. And it's kind of a repetitive one. So once you've learned how to create your stitches on one of these little segments, obviously you're repeating it for the next and so on. So it's a nice, easy one. Good weight of fabric as well. So with this one, the weight's going to help you with your stitching.
Absolutely. And again, you know, a hoop optional.
Yeah, very much so, yeah. Beautiful, and I love it because you're learning some additional stitches, some stitches that will be familiar with you, but again, new stitches on the way as well. The spring option, a similar sort of idea, similar stitches, different formations, different areas, different colours as well. And of course, this one is proven to be a popular one as well. Yeah, if you're wanting to get hold of either of them, they're both on the same item number, so you could quite easily go for both of them if you wanted to as well. So 962655. Of course, it depends on how you want to display these. I love the idea of them actually going into these little board discs and then being hung, but they could be something, because they actually come to you in a square panel, you could actually stitch that into a block to go on a wall hanging or something like that if you wanted to, or maybe make it as a panel to go on a bag, a little zip-up bag, a makeup bag or something like that. Absolutely brilliant, love it. There you go, if you're wanting yours at 962655, and you've got your choices there with regards to your earth, and then of course your lovely spring. as well, like those ones. And I love the next ones because they've got a real fun feel to them. If you're into your spring designs, then well, Easter is just on the horizon, isn't it? And this is a lovely little set, but not just for Easter. I mean, there's lots of people that love designs with chickens going into kitchens as well. And these, I think, just look absolutely adorable as well. So with regards to these, you've got lovely Chelsea chicken, as you can see just in front of me here, and Rodney Rooster as well. And these are continuing the range that we see from Dizzy and Creative, where you're just using a couple of stitches to create the design. I think it's such a clever concept, and they've got many more of these on the website as well for people to look at.
Yes, there are loads of designs. There's about 30 or more.
Oh, wow.
in all. Yes, all different stitch combinations as well.
I love it. It's a nice way of kind of getting to learn and try a new stitch with necessarily, well, I call it productive practice almost, because you're practicing, but you've got something at the end of it rather than just on a scrappy piece of fabric that you've got. So there you go. Printed, obviously beautifully printed with that grey tone, which is perfect for your stitch line, but then that injection of colour, as you can see with the little chicks there and the gorgeous sunshine there. Absolutely beautiful, love it. So whether you are a seasoned stitcher and you fancy something as a little breakaway project, or whether you're teaching somebody to stitch, either way you've got really good value for money with these kits, because you have got a little practice piece in there. So if you do want to create and try those stitches out before you put them on your final project, then you can do. Details there, 215829, whichever of those two you go for, you're going to have loads of fun. But they're both on the same item number, and I think naturally they do work really well together. So especially if, because I'm just going to pick these up, and just if you imagine these going into little frames, if I just swap them over, there you go, they actually come together quite nicely, don't they, if you wanted to put them in little frames and pop them on your display there. So they look like they're singing together, couldn't they? Adorable, love it. There you go, but they've had an argument now, so I'm going to put them back to back. There we go. So if you want to get hold of those, the details are on your screen. Can I show you these fabulous shoe kits though? These are absolutely beautiful. Now they're not going to be an overnight project, but I don't think you'd want to do these and rush them. You really want to savour every single aspect with these, because again you're going to be learning different stitches, or maybe using different stitches that you already know. Two different colour options with regards to these. The purple one being that fabulous iris, and then over on the far side you've got that gorgeous rose, beautiful. And these, I mean, they're gorgeous designs, timeless though, aren't they? Whether you're looking at them this week or in 10 years time, they're still going to look gorgeous.
They are, yes, and we all love a shoe, don't we?
Oh, don't we just, yeah, very much. And again, loads of different stitches with these. You're using wool with these, because of traditional crewel work, I think, did you always use wool originally, or?
Traditionally, yes, it's wool on linen twill.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Fabulous.
we use wool on an even weave linen.
Well, this is it, and it's kind of the modern way.
A little bit of
it,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of traditional, a little bit of modern there. And I'm just going to show you the panel as well, because I didn't want to pick it up before because it all looks so beautifully displayed, but I think it is quite important to show you. That kind of linen weave is in with this fabric. It's a really good weight to it as well. And you can see you've got your design there. Again, those outlines, and this is the same with regards to the rose. You've got the layout there. You've got plenty of room around inside it. It's overlocked as well, so if you do want to turn it into a cushion, that you could do quite easily. But it's the wool that you've got with this one. As I say, Appleton wool, 100% wool, as we say, has been created in the past for William Morris, but absolutely beautiful colours there. The quality, absolutely exquisite. And of course you've got different groupings, whether you're going for the lilac with the iris, or you've got the rose over on the far side. Brilliant quality, fabulous value for money, and a real treat to yourself potentially with this one. Two flexi buys are £37.50, but of course they're both on the same item number, so if you do fancy treating yourself to both, then you can do, and spread that cost over £2. If not, keep a note of the item number, because I think once you've created one of these, you will want to create the pair and go for the second one as well. So yeah, 466152. Other things that we can share with you that might help you on your way, perhaps a little embroidery hoop, because you've got a series here, and there are all sorts of different sizes. So again, you can see these working right the way through. I don't know which sizes we've got with these. So you've got a 3-inch with your small, a 5-inch, a 7-inch, and a 9 inch. And a couple of the patterns have referred to 8 inches and 9 inches, so that's a nice set to go for. And £9.99, very affordable way to go for them as well. Also, we have got that seated frame. This is a useful one because it does mean that your hands are free, and it's nice because you can use it whether you sat on the sofa or you sat on an upright chair, and it's a really nice one. That £22.99 just looks lovely as well. Again, a nice gift to give to somebody potentially if they are a stitcher and you don't know what to get them. So 606286 if you fancy getting hold of that one as well. So Jay, we're going to come back over to you because we're going to be talking about presentation and what you do when you finish your design.
Yes, yes. So I thought I'd just take you through quickly some of the ways that you can actually present. So you see that I mount things on boards because they're easy to use, and just showing you how that works. So for a circular one, for example, I use the inner ring of an embroidery hoop as the template to actually cut a circle, and I take 2 pieces of mount board. I try and find acid free.
Okay.
When you're using textiles, it's not always easy to find, but because you don't really want the acid in the board and in the board making process to come through onto your fabric.
So is this the technique that you would have used with the mandalas that we've got with
this
the
is
Shisha,
exactly the same. So I've stuck 2 pieces together, and then I've got a piece of calico, and this is an added insurance to make sure that there's no acid that might actually attach itself to your finished work. And then I've got some glue. I've broken my...
Oh no, do you need another brush?
No, it's all right. It does actually work. But I just used some glue, but inside the edge I'm leaving a margin around the edge that's glue-free.
Wonderful. Now, I will just mention, if anybody's just tuned in, this is a technique for you to actually present your pieces with. You're not going to get the board and the glue and the calico that Jay's referenced. This is something that you need to incorporate for your own stash, but it is a way for you to actually back your pieces. So that's what we're learning about. But please, when you are ordering these, if you do receive them and you think, oh, hang on, where's my glue, where's my board? It's not included within the kit. Of course, it's something that's readily available that you can find on our website.
So I'm just running round here. I've clipped the calico back to the edge of the circle, and I'm just now pulling that over onto that glue strip.
Such a neat edge as well.
Just to hold that in place. So I'm using quite a tacky glue, so...
Wonderful, keeping it all in place there.
Yes. So then you have a covered board, and you're not going to have any danger of acid from that board actually getting on your finished piece. Wonderful. Now if you've got a square, you do exactly the same, 2 pieces of board, and mitre the corners. So bring 2 sides in and then fold it and tuck it down like that, so that you have mitered, flat mitered corners. It is, absolutely. And you end up with a piece like that.
And again, glue it down.
And again, just glue it down, but leave a margin around the outer edge, about 1 centimetre or so from there. So to do a round one, I've got a finished piece of work here, which is just a panel. So this is one of our 2 stitch steps. The sunflower, and I've run a running stitch round that one.
I've noticed you've not trimmed it into a circular shape.
I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
No, because I mount it first, so I'm putting it onto... Actually, I've pulled it too tight. Just open that out a little bit.
It's the ease of a running stitch for you.
So I pull that round.
Lovely. And is it just a single run that you use with the running stitch, or do you do a double run, or use a thicker thread?
I've used a thicker thread. I'm actually using a perlé thread.
Oh, yes, yeah.
A size 12 perlé thread for this one, and I'm using it double. and you pull it as tight as you can. It's always this bit when you've pulled it tight and then you let go, isn't it?
That's it, yeah.
Before you finish it off. So I'm just make a couple of stitches there, and that will hold it. And you'll see that that will
wraps around and keeps it nice and taut.
Yes.
Lovely.
So then on the back you can actually, where's my fabric scissors? Get the right scissors. Then you can actually trim off.
Now I'm guessing you need to make sure you keep away from that running stitch.
You do need to keep away, yes.
You don't want to trim that and break it.
No, so I'm leaving some stitching, a margin of fabric. I'm just taking off those excess corners.
Okay.
Of those. If you want it to lie completely flat, you could then make some lacing stitches across.
Okay.
Backwards and forwards, and that will hold that absolutely flat. And then I would take a piece of plain calico or 100% cotton, tuck the edges in and pin it around there and whip stitch it to the back of the fabric.
So would you press that piece in or just work your way in as you stitch it?
I work my way round,
Okay.
but it's entirely up to you. You can press it first. Pressing it first probably makes it easier, actually, spending that little bit of time. So, and it's exactly the same principle as well for a square. So I've pinned this onto the front to make sure that my design is central.
Oh, look, is this another two-stitch?
This is another two-stitch,
So
yes.
the projects that Jay's been working on, obviously, we've not got on the show. They are on the website, though, if you do want to have a little look under the brand section. But it's kind of about the shape. So the round one was obviously the mandalas, and we're looking at the square shape now, which, of course, is perfect if you are wanting to finish off your Spirit of Spring, which we've got on the details on the screen.
And so the square ones, I'm mitering the corners, and this one, I'm pulling the corner down and then folding those over and pinning them. And then again I would stitch, so stitching a cross stitch across those two miters on all four corners, which will pull them tight and actually hold them. And then you can either stitch the sides to the calico where it isn't stuck, or again you can lace it across.
And of course you're not going to see that because when
you're not going to see any of that. No.
Beautiful, I love it.
That presents them really nicely, and it also prepares them for framing, so if you wanted to frame them.
Well, that's it, because you might already have a frame that you want to take advantage of. And it can be quite expensive, actually, taking pieces to a framers and get them to do the work. So I think you'll agree with the tuition that Jay's just shared with us there. It's very achievable. And, of course, the piece on your screen there is the fabulous Spirit of Spring. And you can see that lovely, neat edge that you're going to be able to create with these. You could obviously size that to fit within a square frame. So if you've got something at home that you could do, or maybe if you're needing to, if you've got a larger frame, you could add a picture mount in there if you wanted to put some separation between the design and the frame. And of course it might be that you don't want to actually put it in a frame at all, you want to use it in a fluid project, so you can do that as well, because you are going to get a really good size panel with this one. So here's your panel that this started off with those gorgeous little lines there, and of course taking those lines and the pattern and the gorgeous threads that are included within this kit, you add them all together, stitch them in place, and there you go, absolutely beautiful. And of course we were learning how to create the circles as well, and the circles with the mandalas. So if you do want to work with those circular shapes, then the mandalas, you finish them off in the same way as you saw just a few moments there. Absolutely beautiful there. So again, $15.99, you've got your choices. You've either got your spring or you've got your earth with regards to those ones. So the details are there on your screen. And of course, we were talking about the squares. Another square pieces that we've got for you are fabulous chicks as well. These are adorable. And these are your two-stitch. I'm bringing them back together as they go. Having a lovely little sing-song there, as you can see. So these two steps, not two steps, sorry, two stitches. So a couple of different styles of stitches with these. You are going to get your practice piece, but these are already actually printed there as a panel, and the colouring that you can see from the chicks and the sunshine there, they are printed onto the piece. They're absolutely brilliant. I wonder what they're singing together. Now, Marcus, Oh, Marcus, I walked right into that one. Marcus is our director. If you ever have a pub quiz and there's a music round, you want Marcus on your team. So he just said, do you want to know what they're singing? I should be so clucky. Oh, Marcus. Oh, dear me. What a way to end a Saturday evening. That was very good, though. I do like that one. So if you fancy getting hold of Rodney and Chelsea, then the details are on the screen at the moment. They're 215-829. And again, they are finished off in the same fashion that we were just learning from our lovely Jay. Now, Jay, we've got about 7 minutes left. Is there anything else you wanted to show us?
I will show you the stitches that we use on Rodney.
Oh, okay, yes, lovely.
So I'll start with the main stitch that we use for him, which is fly stitch.
Okay.
So with fly stitch, you start on one side, you move across and leave a loop of thread on top, and then you come down in the middle.
And again, you've got multiple threads with this one.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you put a tail on, like that.
Oh, it's like a little letter Y.
Like a little, it is. And then you come up on one side, down on the other side.
Okay.
And you come up at the bottom of that stitch. So where that went in.
Okay. So do you come up the exact hole that you went down in before?
Yes,
right, okay.
if you can.
Oh, look at that.
And then you come down again. Like that. So up on one side, down on the other. And this is a lovely stitch. It goes round corners really nicely.
Very effective. And of course, Jay, I mean, she's got such a clever way of teaching. She's working with a thicker thread, so I think you're working with all 6 strands on this demonstration.
Yes.
But when you're actually working on your project, you won't work with all 6 threads. She's doing that so as we can see nicely and cleanly and easily what she's working with. She's fabulous at teaching. She's done that throughout. So that is the key thing, that you can see exactly what Jay is doing. But when you are working within your kits, do check out, because the instructions will tell you how many of those strands you need from your threads there, so you're not using too many of them. And you may even find you've got threads left over at the end of your project.
You may, yes. And the nice thing about this stitch as well is that you can make a detached fly stitch.
Okay, right. We're
so if I come
over
here, I can make a single stitch, all on its own, and I can give that a stem, like that.
Yeah.
Or need to come up inside there.
Am I the only one watching the hoop thinking, where's the needle going to come up? Where's it going to come up?
Or I can take the needle straight over the end of that and just create a nice neat V.
Oh, lovely. They almost look like little, you know when you have fresh snow and you can see where the birds have been in the garden?
That's
it's like
their little yes.
Adorable.
Yes.
I love it.
So,
Jenny, we've learnt so much from you in this hour.
Good.
Oh, love it. Now, of course, Jay, we were chatting earlier on about social media and videos and things like that. Now, have you got a group? I know that you were saying earlier on, you're a little bit like me, where you're a little bit slow in getting the videos and things up there, because it's a bit of a learning curve, isn't it? But do you have things like a Facebook group or a social media that we can find you on?
I have a Facebook page,
lovely,
Dizzy and Creative, and I have an Instagram page as well.
Lovely, so we can find you that way.
Yes. And next month it's our 5th birthday, so we've got some party games coming up on social media as well.
Oh, we definitely need to look out for that.
Yes, hunt the stitch and pin the stitch on the or stitch the tail on the pig and things like that.
I love it. I will look out for that. Now, do you know when you're next due back here at Hochanda?
I'm back on the 20th of April.
Lovely. Okay, so
and I will aim to have a summer spirits.
I hope I get the show, because I mean this is beautiful. So
I'll be working on
I
that.
don't know if you've just caught up with us. Let me explain to you. This is one of the new designs that we've got for you. This gorgeous. Oh no, we've dropped a chicken. Oh no. Oh no, it wasn't Rodney. Oh dear. I'll pick Chelsea up in a few moments. Now, this piece here, the Spirit of Spring, this is the one that inspired me to ask about whether we're going to have a series of these, because I think you'll agree, absolutely beautiful piece. And I think it'd be lovely to have a series of these, perhaps for each of the seasons. So hopefully, mind you, Jay's going to be busy with all those orders when she gets back. That's the first thing. But hopefully when we see Jay back in April, we might see an addition to the range being the Spirit of Summer. Now, this is a piece that did sell out earlier on, so if you do like the idea of potentially getting a series of these, then it might be a case that you like to get involved nice and early, because you could actually have this stitched out. You could share it with us, couldn't you, during that show? Send us your photos then. With this particular kit, you are going to get a lovely panel. So the panel has got all the little lines on there for you to follow. So let me bring that in just to show you there, because it's nice and easy. And you can see, so simple, so easy. We did learn with regards to this. I'm knocking everything over now. It's the end of the show, and literally everything is going. We've got chickens on the floor. We've got patterns all over the place. So you've got your instruction guide, your stitch guide, all the tuition you need. You're going to get those fabulous threads in there, following those lovely grey tones that you've got on your pre-printed fabric there. And then, of course, all the beads and the gorgeous little sequin flowers that are going to add to that design. So when you've completed it, you have got your most amazing piece of artwork, the Spirit of Spring. I do urge you to take advantage of the deal on your screen with regards to this one. Dizzy, Dizzy. Dear me, it's all going on. Dizzy and Creative. I was going to ask you where the name Dizzy and Creative came from, Jay. I didn't mean to call you Dizzy then. I do apologise. We haven't got time now to find out. But yeah, maybe next time we'll save that
Maybe
for next
time.
Yes. Jay, thank you so much. Thank you. I know it's quite a distance for you to come and join us here. So, yeah, thank you for coming, because we've learnt so much from you. And, yeah, do make sure you have a safe journey home, and we will see you in April. The 20th of April?
20th of April, I think.
Lovely. Certainly look forward to that one. Now, if you've got any of those kits in your baskets, I do urge you to check your baskets out. We've had, obviously, sellouts during the course of the two shows, and the Easter eggs, again, are still proving to be very popular during this time. So these ones, over 80% of the restock stock has gone. So if you're wanting those, you need to be checking your basket out straight away. Of course, going over to our nighttime hours in the next few moments, but we'll